on Sladgie. On Twitch, I am Sparkle Horse on lichess. Intro National Master William Pascal. We are doing our Weird Wednesday stream, which entails me trying to play openings and systems against you guys, our viewers and regulars and subscribers who are pretty tough, but trying to play stuff that I don't usually play. Kind of fun openings. Maybe with white, we'll throw out some f4, b3 type of stuff, but not absolute garbage. I want to play semi-real openings that I just don't normally, play. So I've got challenges. Asterbait must have been like hiding in the woods or something. He's disappeared again. It must be an internet connection with Asterbait. He's top of the list, but he disappeared. Juicebox Wizard, Dracofire, and then there he is again. I have not played a single game today, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm making excuses now, but I took my mom to a doctor's appointment. I made 2 chess videos. I did a lesson, and that's what I've done today. Also some yard work, a little walk around. I've done everything but basically play games. And the chess videos might help, but I don't think they're going to help with today's weird openings. I did a video about a game in some Russian Team Championship games. I did one on, a Berlin defense with white, and the other one was a weird Sicilian. That could actually come in. I have not a new idea, but I have something I never played against the Sicilian. Bomb Cloud against me, says Mr. Bob. It's a normal opening. He said unusual. I don't think the Bomb Cloud is a normal opening. My knight h6 on one move would on move one move. We're a little dyslexic. My knight h6, I just saw that JCS, knight h6 move 1 against e4. JCS said fits perfectly Mr. Serious. For those of you who don't know, I only really had, maybe I had an old one years and years ago, but on the Internet Chess Club where I played a lot prior to lichess, I don't play there at all anymore. But I had an account for years and years called Mr. Serious, and a lot of people would read into that the wrong way. I didn't mean it literally. I was kind of just making it because I didn't like when people were too serious about playing online. It was just kind of a joke. I didn't have a lot of deep meaning. I'm not that serious, but I am serious sometimes, so it's kind of read into it what you will. Juicebox Wizard, Dracofire, JCS, Take Back. I think Asterbait was in the list, but he's got some internet connection issues. So I'm just kind of let me get my mind set here before we begin. As I said, I haven't played a single game today. Yesterday's tournament, I was really focused, but yesterday I had played a couple of games during the course of the day before the stream started. Now I'm just trying to get my bearings. It was a serious criticism of seriousness. They would always be like, "Oh, you're so serious," I just made it up, man. It was like back in 1996 or something. I mean, this is a long time ago that I created that handle. I think I had another handle. What was it? Buccaneer, because they called me Buccaneer Bill. There's another one, Wild Bill, a Buccaneer Bill. Okay, Asterbait. Let's get it started, man, while your internet connection is still putting your challenge out there. Let's play e4. Thank you guys for supporting the stream, by the way. We'll try to think of something, unusual here. I'm trying to pull a Russian Team Championship game I analyzed, but the chances of Asterbait actually playing the move there, d6, are small. Okay, now we're back into a standard closed Sicilian, unfortunately. I wanted to play a different line, but here we are. So, having said that, why don't we try something weird? We'll try something weird. Foul. A foul, glorious foul. Can anyone challenge? Anyone can challenge. The subscribers I will take first today. So you have to wait if you're not a subscriber. Maybe quite a little while, depending on the traffic. Okay, d6 now. I mean, I can always transpose to a normal closed Sicilian. I was going to play a setup based on bishop e3. But I'm not sure that makes sense unless black actually plays g6. So now I'm kind of stuck. But that feels like such a normal opening. We could go... Is that my internet or your internet that's like flashing and freaking out? That was really weird. I think it's just something I could see. Let's just play really weird here. I think Petrosian, Tigran the Jr. or someone like that has played weird stuff like this. I'm not a big fan of the Grob, but this is not really a proper Grob. I think grabbing space on the king side in King's Indian type situations may be like kind of valid. So, did you know Twitch was down for a while, Tushar? No, I didn't know that. I think I saw you were streaming earlier today, and I watched your stream for like 30 seconds before I had to do a lot of stuff. Today was kind of a long day, as tomorrow will be, and the day after that. I keep busy. Okay, I mean, a6 seems like a kind of slow move. If you want to play b5, just play rook b8 and do it. You know, just do it. Just don't. I never finished my Anatoly Line story, but Anatoly Line was like watching this game I was playing, or I was playing him, and my friend was watching the game, and my friend got too close to the board, or Anatoly Line was just irritated because his position was bad or something, and he was just like, to my friend who wasn't doing anything but looking at the game, he's like, just don't, you know, and it was like, oh, a little like misplaced aggression. Okay, but a6 is not necessary. You know, rook b8 and b5 is more efficient. Shall we play bishop g2, or shall we look for more? Just go with the flow. The full fawn is a baby deer. I do not whether to challenge him. I do not know whether to challenge him. I have to leave in an hour. Well, it can't hurt, right? If you have to leave, you have to leave. Just challenge me. If you have to leave, then do so. What am I going to do about this pawn on g4? How's my internet doing? 900 ping. That's a good sign. What? Why do I have a 900 ping suddenly? I'd rather not play h3. Much like your a6, I'd rather not waste my time, you know, making unnecessary pawn moves. But I mean, alright, we can try something really funkadelic here with knight h3. This is super weird. Don't try this at home. You know, you can just play knight h3 in some g3 setups. Trying to maintain maximum flexibility. I mean, rook g1 is very tempting, but at the same time, maybe I'll want a castle. I was thinking this, well, that's a cool, yeah, what? Clash Kid has a 10,000 cheer button there. That's pretty cool. Soltigo has a 1,000 cheer button. Bishop e7, though, I'm thinking rook g1. Well, I mean, today I was talking about this with someone. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know? Like, you watch TV in the United States, and this isn't really the case in Europe. And it's just like, everybody's just trying to scam you. Like, every commercial on TV is a scam, basically. It's so strange. European TV has commercials, but they're not all scams. You're what? My pin is close to 100, just like you. 100? Whoa, dude. Ping, 1,000? Did you see this? I mean, I never remember it being 1,000 before. What is going on? Let's go whole hog here with h4. Again, kudos to Clash Kid for his devotion and donations. Clash Kid has made some good donations to the stream in the past. Much appreciated. I don't know what to do here. I mean, closing it up is a normal thing, but I had this idea. Let's do it. Dinosaur train. Migration station. And I'm thinking about just migrating all my pieces over to the king side. It's like a bayonet King's Indian on the other side of the board. It's anti-positional to take on h5, but it doesn't lock the position. And I want to play this. And I want to hit the rook, and I'm going to kick you out. Knight d4 may have been misguided. If you could trade the knights or mate me in one. That was a nice try, by the way. Acerbate immediately like a magnet on the mate in one smothered mate. Very nice. 1,000 ping equals 1 second of lag. Man, that's sick. I don't know. I've done 2 videos today and done a chess lesson with no problems with lag. I think Acerbate's just second in exchange here. It's something when I stream, I've got a couple of Mozilla Firefox, browsers open and the OBS, and what's the big deal? Like, why do I have 1,000 lag? I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. Just because of my OBS, like, what the heck is causing that lag? 2 Mozilla Firefox browsers, and that's basically all I have running. Discord. We can turn off the Discord. I mean, that might be one less process or something. Acerbate, what are you doing? Acerbate is going nuts. Okay. Please no smothered mates. This is an exchange of rook for bishop. What is our material balance now? The balance. Not good for black. He's about as warmed up as me. He's actually dropping a knight as well. So Acerbate clearly didn't play today. Much like myself. Not warmed up. Dropping pieces. Dropping pieces is a prime suspect when it comes to losing. He did have mate in one. The threat of mate in one. But that's hope chess, We don't play hope chess around here unless we're absolutely out of other ideas. How's my ping now? Okay, I guess I should take on f5. I'm taking it easy on him. Well, turning off Discord dropped it down to 700. This is not a great machine. It's not that powerful. It's probably one of the reasons why I have lag, but basically my internet provider is the #1 reason. Not to make excuses, but well, this is a nice, gentle warm-up game. Clash Kid said he hasn't played chess since the Sunday Simul. Alright. I like to hear that. But we need some lower-rated guys to start it off, because I haven't played all day. I don't want to play, I don't want to play World Loser or S4, or Yellow Dragoon in my first game, because I'm totally out of practice. I haven't played it all since yesterday. And if I played a lot more Blitz like I used to, it probably wouldn't matter as much. But a nice easy game or two to get me warmed up. A later program to record maybe solves the problem like XSplit. Yeah. My other machine dealt with OBS a lot better, I think. This one seems to be a little overwhelmed, basically. It's a lighter laptop. Let's see how we're doing now. The other thing is I'm not as close to lichess as I used to be. Being in Europe made it a little easier. All right. Let's get the next challenge out. Juicebox Wizard, Dracofire, JCS, Take Back, Yellow Dragoon. I said no Yellow Dragoon in the first 2 games. All right. We'll let you play the 6th game. He's 24-24. He's higher rated than me. No, almost. Kiritoni. So I'll take the guys who are subscribers first. All right. Juicebox Wizard. And maybe we'll take Yellow Dragoon because he's high rated and he was a subscriber for a while, so he's a friend of the stream. And you guys like to see me play the stronger players, so that'll be cool. But let me get warmed up. Your ping is under 120. What internet provider do you have, Mr. Bob? This is Comcast's way of making me get Fios. They're like premium. They're premium internet service, basically. I'm on a landline. It's not like I'm on a router and getting some Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi or whatever you want to say. There's really no excuse for my internet to suck so bad. Like I'm streaming from the bathroom. Now we're down to 98 ping, so it's coming and going. All right. So E4 D6. Well, I'm supposed to play unusual systems. I don't really have an unusual system. You don't have to worry about playing an unusual opening playing me. LOL. Well, the Pier's still pretty mainstream. Well, just trying to think. What can I think of against the Pier's defense that's kind of unusual? I've played G4 base setup once. I don't want to play just utter garbage, you know, and just play ridiculous things. So what can we do here that's like constructive and interesting? I'm just going to keep my mind open and maybe figure something out. He might not even play the Pierts. I mean, like Turkey Farm H4, that's garbage. Well, I mean, H4, it depends. Now it might actually be okay to do H4, but without G6, it would really be stupid. The lobster. Believe me, I like to play a lot of lobsters, especially when I'm just playing poker and messing around and not playing chess seriously, but trying to be a streamer and be serious about the game. We did have a game against Juicebox recently that was kind of an interesting game. Was that in the Simul, I think? We had a really interesting game. I'll try to play something a little bit outside the box here. So far, so standard. Queen H5, I think you meant earlier. Talvin Jacobs, what's up? Welcome, everybody. Do I know I am Andras Toth? Yeah, Toth Andras. Yeah, of course. You know, it's funny, like 2 years ago when I started streaming, someone was like, do you know Andras Toth? And I was like, wait, who's Andras Toth? There's no Andras Toth. I had like forgotten about him because I hadn't seen him in 10 years. It was really weird. Like, I played him 2 games, once in 1997 and then again in like 2004. But he was literally like, I literally hadn't seen the guy in like over 10 years. So I kind of, there's a lot, it's a very common name, Toth. You know, I have like a friend, Erwin Toth, who's an IM. There's like one in Brazil. You know, it's a pretty common name. I thought I'd get outside the box with 92 here. So, kind of like a Kramer variation against the King's Indian. But, why do you ask about Toth Andras? I know he was a streamer here for a while. We played some games on lichess a while back, like a year ago or 2 years ago. Time goes fast when you're having fun. So here we are with the weird opening approach. Pierts, it's your favorite opening. The 150 attack. Oh, yeah. But that's some kind of... Is that a Brit thing? Like, you're Irish, but... How do I say, like... Is that like a... I mean... Is that something developed by players from like, you know, the British Isles and Ireland and stuff? This 150 attack, who gets credit for that, and why is it called the 150 attack? Can you explain that? Oh, because you have to be around 150? Is that it? It's the British rating system, right? The BCF rating system, 150? I understand. So that I remember now. So it has to do with the rating system. It's 150 for 150 players. But why? What is the significance of 150? Isn't that like fairly high rated? Any 150 rated player thinks you just checkmate black by force. But isn't 150 like pretty good? No, I remember. I can't remember now. I have a BCF rating. 150 is like 1800. All right, yeah. Okay, I'm like 200. So I remember now. My BCF is like over 200. But I haven't played that many games. I think I've played like 5 tournaments in England. One in the Isle of Man. I don't know if that counted. That's a good question. Did my Isle of Man tournament count for my BCF rating? That would make it like 6. Yeah, my BCF sucks though. It's like 207 or something. It's really pretty low. Lower than I would want it to be. But I never had super good tournaments when I played in the UK. My best tournament was like a GM tournament in York once in '99, where I had a positive result. I've had like mediocre tournaments in Hastings. The Isle of Man was very mediocre. So, yeah, overall, like I've had like one decent tournament and mostly mediocre results when I played in UK. Giving me something like a 207 rating. 150, yeah, it's an automatic mate. Well, now I've kind of transposed into some sort of normal looking setup. 207, what? Where am I going here in this Kramer? That's a bad square, Mr. Knight. But, you know, you might induce me to play b3 and like weaken the long diagonal. Tushar actually did this against me yesterday, if I remember correctly. There's no time to do anything but stop knight c4, which is slightly awkward. Slightly awkward. I'm going to offer a take back, but that's so blatant. Like, you should be like, you should be taken out and like beaten for that move. It's like a pre-move or what? Like, how am I going to let you play knight c4, really? You should be just, there should be a punishment for like a pre-move like that. Like, absolutely no respect. I'm not sure f3 was necessary, Bob. I'm just being lazy. It's a standard move. You're probably right. You're probably right, sir, Mr. Bob. Since there's no knight coming to g4, f3. I mean, I'm supporting g4, Bob. There you go. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know like which tournaments actually got BCF rated though. You know, for all I know, like the York Vikings where I did pretty well, like didn't get rated for the BCF. You know what I mean? It was like a closed tournament. I have no idea like which tournaments were rated. I'm sure the Hastings Congress was, but like probably my better ones, like the Isle of Man and the Vikings one, like didn't get like. So I probably am just 22. I'm 207 based on like 4 times playing in Hastings, where I did mediocre results. I think there was a weekend Congress. All right, I drew Edward Gufeld. I would later beat him, but he was mad because he couldn't beat me he was on the white side of a Sicilian. Big Eddie. I'm gonna take now. This is debatable decision, for sure. I'm getting low on time. I mean ECF. Well, it used to be BCF, Tushar. I know I'm dating myself, but for your information, it was like BCF forever, I guess, and then they changed it to ECF. But you're young. You don't remember back in those days. Which is more politically correct? I would think, yeah. What's going on? He's playing bishop takes c3. You're not even thinking about like trying to play knight a4 here, are you? That's crazy. Man, I don't know. I guess I should consider taking with the pawn here, but my tactical, vision is not what it used to be yesterday. I'm not warmed up. Man, this is an amazing position. Just an absolutely amazing, amazing position for Juicebox Wizard. He's a genius. He played bishop takes c3. We're going to call him like Alexei Shirov II. It's just ridiculous. I've got 10 challenges. Dracofire is not a subscriber? I'm thinking like Dracofire is not a subscriber. Soltigo, can I get a confirmation on who's a subscriber? You don't even know, right? Unless they post comments, it's hard to know. Twitch has like a bug. When I try to see my subscribers list, Clash Kid blurts out the tactic. Luckily, it was too late, but yes, he can play 95. That's the whole point, man. Check this out. I'm running out of time, but dude, you're like a genius, but you didn't know it. I mean, he has knight d5, man. This is insane. Knight d5, pawn takes, knight takes, queen moves, knight takes e3, queen takes e3, rook e8. It's like he planned it all out in advance. Just he didn't know about it. It was his subconscious. And then he played knight a4. Trust your subconscious, Juicebox Wizard. Your subconscious was trying to win this game for you, but you just wouldn't listen. Man, that is a sick move. I mean, I saw it immediately. Juicebox Wizard had time. It's not a standard type of thing, but he has the capability to calculate. He's pretty good tactically. So I was kind of thinking like 50-50 if he sees it. It involves giving away a piece, getting it back, a pin on e8. I wouldn't have taken it. I would have just played queen d2 and sucked it up and still maybe had a small advantage because his king side's pretty weak, actually. If knight d5, of course, I have to just play queen d2. He takes on e3, I take with the queen. I'm going to castle long and play h4, h5. I still think that white is better. But probably, it justifies bishop takes c3 at the very least. He traded some pieces. I don't know. Maybe it's bad for black in the end. Now he dropped a piece. No more takebacks. One take back per play. No, one take back per stream. He was in trouble anyway. I was playing bishop h6. He's gone now. Just hypothetically, like let's say he moves his knight here, knight b6, bishop h6, winning the exchange and mating him. He doesn't have knight f5, luckily, because after pawn takes f5, queen h4 is covered. Otherwise, he would have a saving tactic there too. Anyway, really, really lucky for me that he didn't do the 95 trading pieces. All right, so Dracofire will wait. JCS is the next subscriber. We'll take a couple players, to let me get warmed up for Yellow Dragoon. Maybe we'll play JCS and take back. That'll be a good warm-up. If Dragoon, if you have time, if you don't mind. I don't want to get, mauled because you've been playing today. I mean, I'm really, really not warmed up. I'm getting warmed up now. It shouldn't take long. Just another game or two. Tushar, you thought I wasn't good on tactics. You obviously haven't talked to any positional players. Literally, you ask anybody. On the stream I'm sleepy, man, and I overlook tactics all the time, but if you ask any positional player, what are we going to do for opening here? If you ask any positional player about me, they'll tell you that I'm really good in tactics, but I'm extremely weak strategically. And if you ask any tactician, how I play, they'll say like, "Oh, yeah, he's really really good strategically, but in tactics he sucks." So it really depends on who you ask. E4, E5. I think I respect positional players more than tacticians, so I kind of want to be a positional player more. But I think the truth is that I'm somewhere in the middle. Um, I don't really play the Vienna game. I was thinking about playing D4 here. What's up with that? It's a transition to a center attack? Why not? I've played the center attack occasionally. Once in a tournament game against Sabo Christian, which was like the dumbest thing I ever did. Christian's trainer is like Lukács Peter, who's written millions of articles for like New in Chess and stuff. And he's all theory. It was just stupid to play something so easy to have prepared. So we transposed to a standard no Vienna Gambit. By the way, that Vienna Gambit, which I don't know much about. I mean, F4, I noticed lately there was a Perelstein game, I want to say, where Eugene played like F takes E4, knight takes, and then Queen F3. It's like a Latvian with colors reversed. I think the truth is like Queen F3 might actually be better than Knight F3. So we're into the main line of the center attack here. The dumbest thing I ever did. He never plays F4. What a pity. Well, I mean, the main reason why I didn't play F4, guys, because F4 is the main line, and this is weird opening stream, so I didn't want to play, like, main line. If this was main line opening stream, it looks like JSC. Why am I dyslexic? Why does Jacob, anyway, let's just call him Jacob. Why does he know this so well? You're not supposed to know this. Have you considered splitting up your streams and targeting different ratings levels? You know what, Bob? I never seriously considered it, but maybe I will. Maybe I will. It's not a bad idea, sir. This came to for sort of popularity in the early 90s when Morozevich burst on the scene. He had a very, very strong tournament in London. I'm thinking it was in London. There was an open. I can't remember the name of the tournament now. We need another old dude like me. But Morozevich had some sensational result in this tournament in England. It was like a 9-round Swiss. He finished with like 8 out of 9, some kind of crushing result, when he was a relatively unheralded young Russian grandmaster. But one thing he was doing was playing the center attack. I have this weird feeling he beat Hebby, my friend Mark Hebden. But my memory is kind of foggy on the whole thing. So I don't remember what the heck is going on here. I don't study this enough. My gut instinct is that I just dropped a pawn. I thought this was the way I was supposed to play it. But obviously we need to study more. I mean, I never was confident in this, and I still don't remember how I lost to Sabo Christian. That was about the time when I started playing more poker than chess. It was like around 2008, and I was making my transition from chess to poker. But what do we want to do here? Bishop h6 looks like a dead end. Just a bad move. I'm just down a pawn. You could argue that I have some sort of compensation. Lloyd's Bank. Thank you, Fal Glorious. Yeah, Lloyd's Bank, of course, the famous bank. What else can you call it? Institution that steals your money. Lloyd's Bank. Are they still in existence? I guess it probably is, right? Lloyd's of London. So Morozevich, yeah. But I think the variation's been kind of canned, you know? I mean, it just doesn't really work. It was such a stupid idea. It was such a stupid idea to play this against Sabo Christian. I mean, it was like a variation that's been totally analyzed. But I thought I would surprise him because I never played it in my life, you know? That was the only thing I had going for me. But he was like, no, we just looked at this with Lukács. Whatever. You know, it just crushed me. Dumbopeningpreparation.com. You know, so much for surprise weapons. It's just not that good for white, I guess. This variation is kind of hokey. Funds dried because of poker. No, the funds dried because of other things. Do I know Luka Lenic? My name is Luka, and I live on the second floor. I only met him like because of the tournament in Slovenia. But Vladislav Nevadnici was teasing him and like singing a song to him constantly. It was really, really kind of childish but amusing at the same time. So I don't really know him. Like, he probably won't remember me because we just kind of hung out in the same room for a while. Okay, Bishop f8. Although he will remember Nevnici serenading him, most likely. Then he might remember me. I don't know. I had a good tournament in that tournament, though. That was when I was really still at my peak. I almost made it. I was close to a GM norm. I lost to Robert Marcus, which really crushed me. I played like 6 GMs and only lost one game in that tournament. I'd like even score against GMs. Lots of draws, as always. Why do you ask about Luka Lenic? He's not one of the turtle guys, is he? Is he one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja chess turtles? Creepers is doing good. I noticed that. Well, I noticed he stopped streaming and he's concentrating on his real game, and it seems like, yeah, Creepers is creeping up rating wise. I mean, I was all about H4 like all the time. This was totally playing into my hands from JCS. Just I dare you to ever even think about taking my knight. Having said that, like, I still didn't have any attack. We're going to need some tactics now, guys. Man, this is kind of rough. I just don't know what to do. Running out of time. You played Nevenici, yeah. I have a disagreement with Brian Smith. He played him once and he says he's like a tactical guy. I said, what are you talking about? Nevenici is like a technician. He's very good in endgames. He played like just technique against me. Maybe he's like me, you know, like he's like multi-purpose. You just think he's whatever you're not, you know. Brian Smith said he was like a maniac. I said, "What are you talking? Are you talking about the same guy?" He's just like really, really good technically. Um, I don't know what you felt, Yellow Dragoon, but I know good endgame technique when I see it, man. I didn't think it was a maniac. All right. Now, we're going to start a raging attack here. I think he should have just called my bluff with something like a6 when I played bishop b5. Just turning into a blitz battle. What's your score against Chernayev? We just played once. It was a draw. But I think we played in a blitz tournament in Hastings as well, and I don't remember what happened. I think it was like maybe 2 draws. I don't think I lost. Maybe it was a win and a loss. I think we have an even score. We played blitz for money at one point too, and I don't remember. I think I might have lost slightly. Chernayev I played in the New York Open where I had a really good tournament going. Then I lost to Tibor Tolnai in this ridiculous game. Like sacked a rook and then hung it or something. It was crazy. I lost. I wanted to kill myself. That's where I first met that guy. I know everybody. I've been around a long time. I mean, I have a lot of knowledge of different players from different generations. This attack is starting to look kind of overwhelming. I mean, unless he's got some miracle here, which he might. But JCS lost the thread. This has to be good for me. Queen h4. Obviously f6 isn't going to work. I mean, I just don't believe in this. That is terminal. But it was a swindle. Magnus, no, Magnus is just nothing but technique, man. I mean, he's obviously good tactically, but he avoids complications on purpose for the most part. You know, I mean, he'll even say that in his stream and stuff, you know. I don't feel like calculating anything. I told my story about how I played Magnus like a million times on the stream. It was like playing an old man, you know. It was like I played some Soviet grandmaster from the 50s. I mean, he just wanted to play endgame with technique, you know. He beat me in a queen ending with queen and 7 against queen and 7. Pure technique, nothing, no tactics. There was no tactics in the whole game. He just trade the pieces, win the endgame, play fast, you know. I mean, and that was pretty early in his career, and you could see, you know. Okay, I take back. Then I'll play Yellow Dragoon. Then Clash Kid, Bob, any kind of subscribers. We try to stick with the weird openings. I consider the center attack weird. Guys, just out of curiosity, let's look at the opening. What did I do here? I mean, is this just bad for white? Pause for delay. Yeah, I forgot the theory. So I'm supposed to play a3. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised if we could resuscitate this variation with Stockfish. Look at that. It's busting out bishop g5. I mean, that's a move that's only been played 3 times. This is the kind of thing that the computer is very useful for, bringing back variations that were like, not played for 10 years or something like that. I'm supposed to play A3. I never remember that. F3 is just lame. Let's see who's played this lame move. Yeah, basically nobody. Just me and some random 2300. F3 is just bad. Okay, back to business here. Yellow Dragoon, you remind me of a friend of mine in high school who taught me how to play chess. We had this thing where, he was very hyper competitive, and he used to, what we used to do was actually, we both wanted to get like A's on our math test or whatever. He was more competitive than me about it, though. We'd actually do was we would have a bet, like we would bet money that like we would get the lower score, so it was like a consolation prize. Like we'd have a bet that like, okay, I'll bet you $10 that I get a lower grade than you. It was kind of cool. But he really wanted to get the A. It's kind of a good idea though. Consolation prize. Bet your friend that you get a lower grade, and then when you do get a lower grade, you win $10. It was kind of a good idea. Man, I've got terrible. I got terrible lag again. It's back. 1235. That was close to my first rating. I was 1275. Cool Carney, yeah. One of the myriad of strong young Indian players. Hey guys, I am on time for Good Night Stories. Am I on time for Good Night Stories? For the most part, I'm seeing here D6 as the best move. I think Jeroen has played that, our former moderator. What do I think of Manuel Bosboom? I never met Manuel Bosboom. I think he has a sort of Hispanic first name and a Dutch second name, which is weird, but kind of cool. I've heard of him. I never met him. He's one of those people that I've never met. I know a lot of people, but I obviously can't meet everyone. Bob said he cheated on enough tests, but obviously, you know a lot, Bob. Who cares about the grade you got? Yeah, but compared to me, Tushar Kulkarni, I mean, 25 is young. When you're old, 25 seems young. We had this against somebody the other day, like a week ago. Maybe it was Jeroen, right? Jeroen in our simul, I think, played into this. The ending, it was pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen, king takes queen, knight takes e5, bishop e6, and I decided to play bishop c4, which I thought is really... I thought bishop c4 was really debatable. Okay, this is like kamikaze. He's a kamikaze player. Knight e4 is like, oh man, that's taking your life in your hands. It's one thing if you're taking a pawn with it, but just to do it voluntarily, that's really insane. The vulture. So I don't know. Bishop d3, that's okay. Queen d5 could lead to fascinating complications. I'm looking at like queen d5, bishop f5 now. Come on. Is that for real? Man, Takeback, you made me think now. What the heck? I have not seen the game against Magnus. I have to look at all those games. I haven't had time to look at the Norway Altibox tournament. I'm totally behind with my personal stuff. I mean, I'm behind my chess research. That would be the next thing. This is crazy position. Just totally crazy. Probably the wrong move. Wouldn't be surprised if bishop c4 is a move here. But he could play e6 there. That's pretty annoying. I'd be willing to bet like bishop d3 was my best move. I have no idea what I'm doing here. It's not really an unusual opening, so I feel kind of bad about that. This is something that I play. Though I would say the way black is playing is pretty unusual. On the other hand, like the delayed Lichess gambit is a pretty unusual line in itself. But I shouldn't play this. I got kind of distracted with the conversation. Lots of interesting questions and stuff about chess players. And I really got kind of sidetracked and forgot to play an unusual system here. But we will get back on track. Thanks everyone for supporting the stream. I'd love to get some donations, bits, donations. Feel free to support the stream with PayPal, even if you could just donate $5 a year, guys. Also, I should mention chesslecture.com. I think they have this special going till the June 1st deadline where you can sign up for like 3 months for $15. They wanted me to really kind of promote that to you guys and everybody on the stream, so it's a good value though. I mean, it's a big savings and it's a good site. Debatable decision here, taking on d6, fixing his pawns to this like more solid looking structure. Doesn't seem to be any way to like put him away directly. Having bizarre, stupid ideas pop in my head. So that's a problem. Let's just develop. It's always good to develop. Simpson Gambit. Posting your dinner on Discord. I've got to be cooking after the stream. I've had a long day, you know, helping my mom, taking her to the doctor's appointment. I had 2 chess videos I recorded, plus a lesson, plus the stream, plus I have to cook dinner. I'm like a superhero. Welcome to the dead end. Yeah, I mean, just keep playing good moves, man. You're starting to piss me off. You're starting to piss me off. Yeah, Take Back is a weird player. I mean, he's got a lot of draws against me. If you look at this, he's lost some games, hasn't won too many, but he's really credible. I mean, he's kind of sneaky. I mean, he's got the 1957 rating. It's hard to put my finger on it. He's around 2000. You know, and you look at the score and it's almost like 30%. It is exactly like 30%. That's pretty decent, you know. Win for white, absolutely. Wow, I recommend liver. I am hit or miss with the liver, man. I used to like hate liver. But then like someone in my family cooked it in a situation where I had to eat it, and I kind of didn't think it was that bad, so I will occasionally eat it. I even cooked it sometimes. You kind of get into it, but it's really, really disgusting to talk about that on the stream. Okay, here we are. So we're just playing based on structure. Win for white, absolutely, absolutely. I like red meat. You can tell by my style. I'm all tactics. No fish or chicken. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding around, guys. Welcome to my stream. It's unusual openings today. This wasn't such an unusual opening, though. The survival rate of my opponents who played the black side of the delayed Lichess Gambit is basically like 0. Like, I think there was once a guy who actually beat me in a blitz game, but it was really, really a freak accident. There was this kid from Hungary who's rated like one of the top juniors. I just annihilated him. But he did a crazy thing. Like he did something crazier or as crazy as what Takeback did. I think after D takes E4, he just took this puppy right away. You know, this is the position, right? He didn't play D6, he just took it. And then on Bishop D3, he played Knight C5. I was freaking out, but I was like, there's no way that can be good, you know? Hanging pawns. Hanging pawns. Well, yeah, they've got the 3 islands, like, there going on. Those 3. Takeback's all about the time here. Why do I never have any tactics or threats? That move surprised me. But maybe it's a good move. It does drop a pawn, though. This is a calculated risk or just a mistake? It looks like a mistake. He just flat out gave me that pawn. He's so... Is he playing a lot of bullet? 1960? No. But very time-oriented. Just like he's got to always be ahead on time. Always got to be ahead on time. It seems like it's like a major priority to black here. And there's a number of people that I played that are like that, you know. It just seems like it's just a conscious effort. I never think about the game like that. I'm never like thinking I've got to have more time than the other guy. Time is like an incidental thing. Like maybe I have more time, maybe not, you know. But I don't sit there thinking about who has more time constantly. It seems like when you play Takeback and certain players, it's like they're consciously thinking about like they have to have more time than you. Like the time is the main point of the game. I just can't imagine looking at it like that, you know. I mean, I understand in sudden death, but this is not sudden death, you know. That's the whole point. I mean, maybe he just doesn't make. He's also not got lag like me. My lag makes it look like I have a lot less time than I really have. I probably lost on time already. Luckily, he didn't make a move. But it's just a sin to waste. I mean, to play too fast in increment blitz. I mean, it's suicide. With a beginner, you can take them out, but any experienced player like 2100 and above, this is just bad time management by black. Who won yesterday? The mystery Indian guy, who we don't know anything about. Yeah. Could sneak a mate in on me. Now he lost on time. I just don't like his time management. I think he should spend more time trying to find the best move instead of trying to stay ahead on the clock. He had practical chances. But I think he made too many concessions at critical points. Like, he was probably okay at some point, like after bishop d7. Let's take this position. I felt like I have nothing here. You know, my advantage has like been squandered. Computer doesn't agree though. The engine thinks I'm better anyway. I thought I lost a big chunk of my advantage. Yeah, this is an example like he castled losing the exchange, right? No, he doesn't. He just wrecks his structure. Okay. He has 95. But there was no need to allow that, you know? Just moving too fast. I think that black can find a move here. If you take more time, especially in increment blitz, you spend more time trying to find the best move. Alright, I'm going to play Yellow Dragoon now. Well, do you think I should try to push for FM? Is the title worth it? I don't know. I mean, it's really up to you. I think you'll just make it naturally. I mean, I don't know. You know, it seems like it depends, though. I don't think you should have to push for it. It seems like you would be strong enough to just kind of naturally make it. Yeah, so that would be my feeling. Just don't quit playing altogether, and you would eventually get it. You know, I wouldn't like not go to college because of it or something. You know. But if you feel like, you know, you're going to have to take a lot of time off, you might want to get the title. If you're going to have to, like, take all the time off to study. Alright, let's try something weird. This is unusual. And very unusual for me, because I never play this setup, but Caruana played it recently. There have been some... It's like a reverse King's Indian attack. There have been some good players who played like this, so I thought we'll do something different. I don't play the French normally. Dungeons and Dragoons. What does Dragoon remind me of? It reminds me of... What is that thing called? I'm losing my mind now. Trying to remember something from my childhood. What are those coconut... coconut cookies called? Macaroon. Macaroon. Where did that even come from? I wonder. Why on earth are you always white? Yeah, I asked Thibault, like, apparently people can be like white like 19 games in a row, and it's perfectly normal, according to the lichess admins. This is weird. I see this setup every other game. You don't see it from me. I think it's weird. I think it's like, why am I wasting the white pieces? Playing like I'm black, you know? You'll never see me play this in my life, but I do have a couple of students who play like this, and I think it's weird. I think it's weird if you're a good player, because it's passive for white, you know? My friend David Vigorito used to do this also against the Dutch. Against the Dutch, Leningrad particularly, e3 and just move all the queenside pawns. So yellow Dragoon, not playing in the classical kind of King's Indian style here. And now, also, I mentioned there have been games by, like, Mamedyarov, notably, who, I think this is weird, man. Who plays like this with white against the King's Indian? No one in their right mind would, you know, no real man would play this with white. I'll try to be as macho as possible, but d5. So, one of the first times I saw this was, like, back in 2007 or 8. There was a game. I remember Morozevich maybe beat Kramnik or something like that. And then more recently, Gelfand lost a couple of games to Mamedyarov. It's like you're playing the Benoni, like, down a move with white, but Gelfand doesn't play the Benoni, you know, so it was particularly problematic for him, a guy who plays, like, the Grunfeld. And you're putting him in a Benoni situation. It was very alien, you know. And Mamedyarov was just like, yeah, I don't mind. I'll just play this, like, lame sort of setup where I've got a really tempo down Benoni. No real man would play this with white. My students are going to kill me. I have 2 guys I work with who actually do play this stuff with white. But if you're into opening theory, I mean, and you play this type of thing, strong players would sort of laugh at you. People who are really into opening theory, really into sharp mainline opening theory, look down on white playing like this. You know, that's what I'm trying to impart to you. Highly theoretical players would consider this white system to be utterly... You know, Gelfand is a perfect example. I mean, he's a player who's extremely theoretical. they would say, "Oh, this is stupid for white," you know. Um, but if you go back, you thought Morozevich was like 2650. Well, I'm talking about when Morozevich was like a top player. He's 2650 now, but I'm talking about like circa 2007, when he was still like 2700 plus. The dude was like well into the 2700s. I mean, he was like a top 10 player at one point, Tushar. Like a lot of people who are not now, Alexei Shirov, Peter Leko. Leko was like very close to being world champion. Can we pull a Mamadyarov, basically? Take a theoretical player like Yellow Dragoon. Yellow Dragoon is Gelfand, and I'm trying to relive the joy of Mamadyarov versus Gelfand. Put the theoretical player in a sort of lame situation where they can't have particular fun. Now, highly important is Black's freeing break here with b5. That simply cannot be allowed. I mean, there is no question about this. He's not really old. He probably had a lot of girlfriends or something. I mean, that's what destroys you. The personal things in life. Look what happened to Shirov, you know. It's not his age that did him in. That's the common misconception, you know. It's not actually getting older that makes you weak. It's like the things in life that suck the life out of you. Some players can go on for a very long time, you know. He plays Go now. What would Mamadyarov do? This actually looks very similar to what happened in one of those games that I'm talking about. I think that Gelfand played pretty much similar to Yellow Dragoon, and he slowly got squeezed. But I'm no Mamadyarov, so... Of course, Yellow Dragoon is not Gelfand, though Gelfand's slipping lately. Seems like he's kind of slipping. Knight b5 drops a pawn, but I'm wasting a lot of time, well, spending a lot of time here. I mean, he's going to play bishop b7 next. Let's just face the facts. I feel like f3 is kind of weakening, though. What is my plan? Knight b5 was a stupid idea. It's got to be a stupid idea. Alright, I'm running out of ideas. I'm going to play f3 out of desperation. Did you see that video when he played a game during the awards ceremony? That's not a comment for me. Do you mean the fact that Shirov didn't play Kasparov? No, I'm just saying Shirov, you know, he's not that old, and he's, you know, lost a lot of strength. If you look at his games from the recent Russian Team Championship, he lost horribly. Like, he's just not himself anymore. But I think that life just beats you down. Yeah, Shirov, how he called him a tourist. I mean, it didn't do much for his ego, I guess. I mean, f4, e4 is too dangerous. I like the way the Yellow Dragon's playing this. So it works better against Gelfand than against Yellow Dragoon, but I'm also not Mamedyarov, and I never played this before. I have my own systems against the Benoni, and this is not one of them. I'm sort of hedging my bets now in case I get slaughtered here. He played knight h5, okay. Now we go nuts with this. Right, I mean, Ivanchuk, though, is really amazing, you know, and always will be. For every bad game he loses, he wins like 3 brilliancies. I mean, he's such a unique person. But as far as creativity goes, and I mean, you know, Morozevich and Ivanchuk both just amazing players. I don't know what I'm doing with f4, really. This is just to fake him out or something. This can't be a good move. I really like the way Yellow Dragoon played here. It's like, I think f4 just made my position worse. I don't know how Mamedyarov did it. You have to really know what you're doing. Really have to know what you're doing with black, or with white or black, but especially with white, because it feels like I'm overextended here. This looks really bizarre. Keep your poker face on for making a fake move. This was a bad move. I thought it was okay at first, but the more I look at it, the more I think it's just stupid. Still, not that easy for black to do anything. So, Yellow Dragoon goes with a really concrete idea here. Just trying to snack on my pawn. Looks like I'm losing something, at least. I can only hope that I have some sort of compensation for the sacrifice material. I mean, he did give up his Benoni bishop, which could be dangerous. It isn't at the moment, but it could be. We have some play down the file, but I need help. As my subscriber Mr. Coffee says, I don't know if he's here now, I need your help to beat me. I mean, to beat you. Whatever. Okay. All over me tactically here. So we're playing this. I'm just down 2 pawns. Yes? We're just down 2 pawns with no compensation. Almost no compensation. He went there. What's the threat? Is it mate? No mate. At least my bishop can go out somewhere other than the c1 square. That's good. He's just killing me. I mean, this is bad. Really impressive game. Yellow Dragoon played like he plays the Benoni all the time. You know, he's playing like this game as if like he just regularly plays the Benoni, even though he's a King's Indian player. Some people have a harder time adapting. Man, I'm just crushed. Vague hope for like ops color bishop draw or something. Wow, it's another pawn. He's like a pawn detector. Very materialistic guy. Um, what am I gonna do? Just like no defense. This is ridiculous. I have to take here. Which I didn't want to do is like trade pieces. Playing on out of obligation at this point. I mean, I'm just lost. Just 2 pawns down for nothing. Just totally dead. He played a perfect game against you. I'm not surprised. Very strong. Now I'm down 3 pawns. He's a pawn, very pawn oriented, very material oriented. I'm not that material oriented, but I probably should be more so here in general. He's up 3 pawns. Debaser. The Pixies. One of my favorite bands. Alright. That's a serious threat. We're in some trouble here. Slight danger. Massive practical decision there. Very, very good practical decision. He's only got 5 pawns for the exchange, so, you know, chances are I'm in a little bit of trouble here. It's lost. It is lost. Cold-blooded. Very, very little chance of survival. Might even be a bad move. I think it's going to be hard to stop those pawns. Now, good game, man. I didn't have some sort of hope here, did I? For a minute I thought, wait, maybe there's a way to save this. I'm always optimistic. I mean, it was close. It's only -16. I try to stay optimistic, though. But I wonder if you made like one inaccuracy, would there still be hope? Let's say you make like a terrible move. I guess it was always hopeless. That's the important lesson, though, guys. No matter how bad the position is, believe in yourself. Believe there's still a chance. You know, and there's a chance you'll save the game. Hold on for a second. Sorry, I just had to go bang my head on the wall violently. I do that every time I lose a game. Don't worry about it. I feel much better now. Apparently I was doing okay. Let's see where we fell off the cliff here. We're following Chuchalov. Actually, Tari played f3. I didn't like f3, you know, to be honest with you. But I've thought for over a minute here and couldn't find anything better. Ryazantsev versus Moisenko. So where do we have fall off the cliff here? Bishop a6, he knows the theory in this. Totally obscure position. But once you play b6, I mean, you got to follow up. Bishop a6. And I played what? I played rook e1, which is novelty. I mean, I was having nightmares about getting mated after e4, like knight h5. Basically not playing this position on a regular basis, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad for black or white. So anyway, lack of familiarity is my excuse. Alright guys, so I've got subscribers here, Clash Kid, Bob, Nefedov, and then we'll take Drakfire and whoever's left. We've got about another hour left for the stream. Good game. Good game there. Rook e1 was awkward, and then f4 was just awful. I just wasn't in my happy zone there. I should have found something better to play against. He's a strong player. I was disappointed that he played c5 in the opening. I was hoping for a more standard kind of King's Indian attack type of thing. My huge forehead. Oh. I don't think I have. Speaking of big heads, like, I have a medium-sized head. The opening is dodgy for both sides. So Clash Kid, we're supposed to play unusual openings. Let's try the Owen defense. Reverend John Owen. I rarely play this, but I run out of unusual openings to play. And I've played a lot of games with Clash Kid. He's supported the stream. He's played 80 games. A player who's played a lot here. So clarify that comment, Yellow Dragoon. Is it dodgy for black or dodgy for white? Alright, here. The critical line of the Owen defense. Trying to save time on not playing e6. Clash Kid playing the best. So this is like theory, as far as I know. Where's my water? Yeah, so you're supposed to play e5. That's all I know. I didn't really like your position at some point. Well, the engine says I'm better after, you know, e4 instead of rook e1, but I think I have to be used to playing that type of position, which I'm not. I was scared of the dark square weaknesses, but I've gone that far. I don't know why I played rook e1. I mean, I sucked it up and played f3 and accepted the fact that I was probably going to have to play e4, and then I played rook e1, which was just kind of useless. And then I went completely off the rails with like f4, which is just horrible for white. Don't play openings you don't know. If it's a serious game, guys, it can cause more harm than good. Okay, so Clash Kid knows the line. This is a really strong gambit, I believe. Like pawn takes pawn, castles for white. It may resemble a Roy Lopez. It's a kind of bad Roy Lopez for black. The web camera makes it look huge. The Death Star. That is a simple Japanese, you know, lantern. It is not a Death Star. Got the Japanese theme, you know, the fugu. Master Fugu. He protected me during the tournament, but now we've lost. But Master Fugu is not happy. He's coming to get you. Poisonous. He is our mantra. Anyway. Don't ask me why I have that. It's just a Novelty decoration. So bg5. I'm actually quite happy to see bishop g5 because I think that's a piece you don't necessarily want to put there. Not too bad a place to live in. They started talking about Master Fugu, and they started talking about the Death Star. Clash Kid with the knight d2. It's the Roy Lopez. Isn't it? What are we doing? He's going to turn me out. Remember the game I lost to... I don't know if any of you guys remember the stream where I lost to my last simul, or 2 simuls ago, to... what's his name? Tank. What's the Ukrainian 2100 player who beats me every time? Not Tankist. Something about tank something. Crushed me in this sort of position. If I castle kingside, where are you going? Where are you going? Bombist. Yeah, I want to call him Tankist because there was an ICC title player called Tankist back in the day. Bombist. If cooked properly, fugu can be eaten. Well, there are different varieties of blowfish. I don't know if the generic kind you catch on the pier are really poisonous. It's a good question, though. Can I play knight h5? Feels like I'm trying to punish him too directly for bishop g5, and there'll be something wrong with this. But Bombist castled... how was it he castled queenside and then tried to kill me on the king side? Bombist score against me ridiculous. Alright. I mean, I wouldn't mind if, like... Well, I mean, Yellow Dragoon has a winning score against me, but he's like 2400 in Blitz. I mean, that's understandable, you know, but to be like 2100 to have a winning score against me doesn't really statistically make a lot of sense. Alright, we're taking with the queen. You know, if you're 2400, then you play like a 2400. If you're 2100, then you play like a 2100. I don't understand, you know. Do you have a rating? You've established this rating with lots and lots of games, and you should play something like what your rating says you should. I believe in statistics, in case you didn't know. Now what? Well, it's one of those positions that I talk about all the time. It's difficult to play closed positions in general, but when you don't have time, like in Blitz and stuff, I'd much rather play an open position any day. I say this every day. I say it again. Our knight is done on h5. Why would I even put it out there? Leave it out there. It's just done. It's done its job. We traded pieces. It can't go to f4. Let's just pull it back. Well, I don't want to make any concrete accusations. I just got on the subject because we were talking about this position, and it reminded me of that last game I lost. I don't like to accuse people unless I'm really sure, you know. And I'll give them a million chances, really. And we're not going to start talking about computer cheating again, because everyone gets irritated. Alright. But back to the game. What am I doing here, and how am I doing it? You know, he seems like he's still got the space advantage. This is tough, man. Rook on A to E8. And this is a really strange move to play. I don't know that this is a good move. Something about it's artificial. I mean, it's obviously more normal to go rook fe8. Now my knight doesn't have a way to retreat back to e8. This is probably bad. Once again, I just like to play close positions with time, though. I hate this kind of position in blitz. You're entitled to your position, Mr. Nefyadov. You are entitled. You do have the right to free speech in the United Kingdom, right? I'm not sure about British law. Let's see. Rook on a to e8. This is the internet. Anyway, guys, tomorrow we'll have our subscriber stream. I should send out like a warning email to the subscribers. Just to remind you guys that tomorrow night we're going to be doing game analysis with the subscribers, so everyone can submit a game. We analyze it here together on lichess. It's fun, it's entertaining, and instructive. And now I'm, wondering why I put my rook on e8. I can't dare to leave that pin there, right? Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, knight takes. Clash Kid could overlook a tactic. I mean, he isn't flawless tactically. Like, pawn takes pawn, just call his bluff, knight takes. I'm seeing problems with this. One variation is like take, knight takes, just trade everything and then like rook c1. And it seems like even there, like, I can't protect the c6 knight. Although there I would have knight takes d4. I might win a pawn, but it's too much work. Too much work, too many questions that I can't answer. We'll check it after the game. Can I pull this off? Pawn takes pawn, knight takes e4. d5 is another variation. Doesn't that just win material for white? Like d5, knight takes d2. I'm playing the... Hey, I'm Karpov. It's the Breyer variation. No such thing as free speech. Let's not get political. All right. So, anyway, if you guys suspect anyone of being a cheater, report them to lichess. Leave the problem to lichess. We'll just mind our own business. Knight b8, and to get out of the way, I mean, the bishop just pressures this. It's good. Clash Kid just playing very solidly. Myself as well. Playing very solidly here. I don't like when the game becomes a battle of attrition where it's just time and then someone sort of blunders, which is typically what happens. It's like move 15 and we don't have any time left. I mean, that happens with like Troll in a Roll. Didn't Beliavsky get smashed by Karpov in the Breyer? Very possible. But with which color were you talking about? Karpov is white? Well, I mean, Karpov played that opening with black too, so it would be kind of not surprising. Beliavsky is... Well, Beliavsky plays different stuff. Beliavsky is an aspiring player. I had a nice conversation with him. He's pretty cool. We also played. It was a draw. We analyzed a little bit after the game. A lot of super grandmasters are like super arrogant as well, and they wouldn't analyze with a lower rated master. But Beliavsky, this is going out of my way to grab pawns. I'm going to be materialistic. Beliavsky, is a lover of chess, and he's what's up, man? Don't even tell me you trapped my queen. Another candidate for the World Championship that I played, who I have massive respect for, is like Leonid Udazin. Both of those guys, they don't care. You know, the immature grandmaster is like arrogant and doesn't want to analyze with you because you're the lower rated guy, and they're pissed they didn't win. But I mean, I think that a really quality player just loves the game, you know, wants to get better, and Belyaski Udazin, I mean, both cases are guys that could be angry they didn't beat me, and they wanted to analyze after the game, which I think is pretty cool. All right, now we got a problem with our C pawn. I should be calculating more. What is going on here? The C pawn is probably the least of my problems, huh? I know this looks weird, but I'm making a decision to do something concrete. Troll wasn't banished. Was he banished? He just like insulted me, and then I got mad, and I wasn't gonna play him anymore. I don't have to like take it. I didn't ban him from the stream, but it was just rude. He was rude to me, and he hasn't really been back much since that. Um, he's not formerly the artist formerly known as. He's not formally banned from the stream. He was a regular, but he was mean, you know. Clash Kid is getting too resourceful here for his own good, for my own good. I was all ready to play f5, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, it didn't work. And again, I need to play f5. Come on now. This is crazy. I'm having hallucinations too. But we're setting up the big f5. It's finally hitting, man, like a ton of bricks too. This is very strong here. Pretty much everything's coordinated. He had a lot of resources he missed. Clash Kid needs more time. What am I doing? That last move was pretty dubious by me. Man. We both made a lot of inaccuracies. I mean, maybe not like outright blunders, but just tons of inaccuracies. All right. Only on time. Clash Kid needs more time. Okay, guys, we're going to take some more subscribers. Please, can we play after? I need to sleep soon. What's that? Yeah, I mean, I've got to play the subscribers first. It's not related to like teaching lessons and stuff like that, man. It's not a connection. I mean, people that take private lessons with me, I can't really put them ahead of people who are supporting the stream. Nothing personal. So I've got to play the subscribers, Bob and Nefidov, and then the rest of you guys. I would take next after them if you can hang in there. kinetic theory. All right, let's play something out of the ordinary here. We've still got enough time for these games, probably, up until kinetic theory. I think Nefedov, Dracofire, kinetic theory. If he's able to hang in there. Let's play b6. If somebody else wants to give their spot, I think I can get through those games, at least up to Nefedov and kinetic theory. If you don't mind letting him play first, Nefedov, like we could let kinetic theory play first because it's late, but it's up to you. You're like a night owl anyway. All right, this is kind of a weird line. He played bishop c4. I don't play b6 very often. But Nefedov is kind of a late night guy. He might not mind. I play you first, and then Nefedov last. The stream same time for tomorrow. Well, tomorrow night is subscriber stream, so we're doing game analysis same time. Yeah, I'll send you guys an email who are subscribers. Excessive symbols. Bang. I like to hit the center with this, so long as, well, he'll give up his center. I'm happy. That's good. We've got so much pressure on e4. He could play bishop b5 check, trade some pieces. That's probably a good move. What do I think of Ruslan Ponomarev as a chess player? I think he's really strong. I don't know what his deal is. I don't follow, I can't follow everyone's careers, but Ponomarev, another player who kind of seemed like he was really, really close to being absolutely in the top. He did win that knockout world championship, so he was technically pseudo world champion. But oh, man, I hate having to play bishop there. Let's play knight c6. Is this okay for me, though? I'm putting myself in a pin here, which is slightly dangerous. Bishop c6 also awkward. I may have played this riskily. I like Ponomarev as a player overall. I think he's a great player. I've done a couple videos by his videos of his games annotated for chesslecture.com over the years, and I like his style. But I don't know Ponomarev personally. I mean, he won the world championship knockout, right? He was 2,700 too, which is in a time when everybody's 2,700 now. But that was he was 2,700 15 years ago when it really meant something. But he sort of stalled out, and I don't know why. Well, I do have knight on dd7. Yeah, that's true. In emergencies. Nefedov says that Pano and Karyakin used to be best friends. The stress on the used to be. Are you stressing used, or does it just feel like you're stressing used to be? Do they have a falling out? Now, Bob, I was concerned about the e4. But, this is a very double-edged sword that you're playing with here. I mean, are you seriously going to give me your bishop? That's quite a concession if you're going to give up your white square bishop. There's no need to specify which knight. That's true. I guess traditionally in chess notation they would do it that way, right? How would it be? The stress on used to be. Well, I mean, what's their age difference, by the way? Ponomarev Is Ponomarev older? Karyakin's been around forever, but you have to keep in mind that he was a prodigy. He was starting at a really early age with a very high rating that most people kind of forget about. Um, so Karyakin's, in a way, he's like younger than you think he is. He's been playing for so long. Karyakin, here we go. Like wherever we go, where it's always like politics getting involved. So Ponomarev 1983. Yes, you see, Karyakin is still relatively young, even though he's been forever like extremely high rated. Um, he's still very young. So it's like a C3 Sicilian where Bob has traded his white squared bishop for a knight, and hopefully will make the price as high as possible for that decision. Yeah, he was like the record for the youngest GM, right? I mean, wasn't he? I think he tied or beat the record for the youngest GM at that time. So if you think about Karyakin, what's so interesting about him is he has so many more games played than the other players, even the other players like his age, practically. So many more high level games played. He's almost like a veteran grandmaster who's like the age of, young grandmasters. Um, but I never particularly liked Karyakin's style, you know? I kind of like, I don't know why. I don't know his game that well, but I had the feeling I liked Ponomarev better. I'm just going to take the bishops here. Take the bishops and ask questions later. In general, I mean, I think that two knights can be good against two bishops, but you don't want to see an open position like this. You want to have like kind of locked structure. The best would be symmetrical. Okay, remaining challenges. I'll take kinetic theory, and then Nefidov and Dracofire, and I think that'll probably be it for today. Bob trying to get kind of tricky here with the taking with the pawn with tactics along the F file, and I don't think it's that bad. I was looking at Queen D5. That's a sort of fantasy hope chess type of stuff. Maybe not entirely. Queen D5, yeah, he's just gonna win a pawn. No, I've got a castle. Someone was suggesting bishop f6. Well, I didn't look at it very hard. It may actually be... I felt kind of awkward, I mean, the bishop's actually really well placed where it is because it looks both ways, and we don't really know where it wants to go. It's an extremely good... It has good range here. So now I was thinking queen d5. I can always kick him out with f6, slightly weakening my structure. Queen d5. Trying to trade queens on my terms. This gives me the ability to play stuff like bishop c5. Don't we all play hope chess subconsciously? We all do at some point. You gotta catch yourself. That's the trick. Catch yourself and realize when you're doing it, I mean, the more desperate you are, the more you're like seeing the mirage in the desert. It happened to me even relatively recently in some games. The other thing about bishop f6 was, well, yeah, I mean, with the queens being facing off there, You have to watch out for rook takes f6, but it's obviously not going to happen in that exact situation. So now bishop c5, queen takes d5. Looks okay. The queen is strong, man. I could also play f6, but I think he had knight d7 there. And my main point is that, well, again, knight d7 might, maybe f6 was okay. But I like this, pointing at e3. Saving f6 for later. That's a huge link. Damn, dude, this is the biggest link ever. Are those multiple links? Alright, bishop c5. He played against the likes of... I guess he did, man. They were like... Aren't they on the same Olympic team? Alright. f6. I mean, Ivanchuk and Ponomarev were like 1 and 2 for Ukraine back in the day. The big two. I mean, how many Olympic teams did Ukraine field with those guys? Karyakin was just a mere alternate or something. I don't remember. Now we're all over him. We've got e5 and everything's actually... You have to consider the crazy h5 here. I don't want to get carried away against Bob. Maybe safety first. We'll employ the safety first approach. These bishops are just Ginsu knives. Speaking of TV, Ginsu knives are not really Japanese. You'd have to be like watching TV in the 80s to appreciate what I'm talking about. Soon we'll have Grandmasters the Age of Sperm Cells. Well, it is getting lower and lower. But I think the title got a little bit easier to get in recent years. I wish I could say that for myself. Bob just loses on time. It's an unpleasant position, man. What did Bob do wrong? He lost some time at some point, I think. Giving up the bishops isn't what you want to do, though. This new Indian kid, Pragnanath, I don't know how to say the name. It's too hard to pronounce. Okay, I'll play Kinetic Theory, Nefedov, and Dracofire, and we'll see about the other guys, but I don't promise more than that. But it's not Is it Pragananda? No. It's like Pragnanath or something like that. Too long to pronounce. Is it really Pragnanath? Why do I think there's a T in it? I actually played in the same tournament with the guy. I should actually know if there's a T in his name or not, but I didn't play him personally. So, Kinetic Theory. I'm playing unusual. I'm supposed to be playing unusual openings. Last game, what did I do? Did I fail to play an unusual opening against Bob? No, I don't remember now. I played a B6 Sicilian. That was it. So we do try to play something weird. Let's open with something different. We'll play the Dunst opening. Pragnananda. That can't be. It's like longer than that. There has to be at least another letter. We need an Indian player here, first hand. Tushar to verify. There has to be at least one more letter in his name. It's not just Pragnananda. There's at least one more letter and probably two. So the Ponziani was called. You seriously think that's all the letters? Man, I thought there were more. You can add more letters. Okay, I don't really know this opening too well. You know, everybody's playing like Bishop F4. The London system, but it's not really the London system. It's just a really old school opening. If you look at games from like the late 1800s or early 1900s, around the turn of the 20th century, like Karl Schlechter. I'd like to sack a pawn with e4, but he could play like knight takes. That's probably good. I can play knight b5 here. It's a really weird move. Probably too early. You thought I played bishop g5, but that's a main line. Veresov. It's Jababa Veresov, exactly. It's a Verisov London system hybrid. But again, it goes back to like 100 years ago. He played a6. That's probably some theoretical move. Kinetic Theory has no games. But I was just looking at his rating. He's 1400 bullet, 1300 blitz. I'm not super happy to see a6. That looks like a kind of grandmasterly move, you know. That's pretty high level. Then again, he's just afraid of knight b5, maybe. It doesn't have to mean that he's playing like a GM. There's also the fact he's playing fast, which concerns me. I've never played him before. Now here, bishop d6. Always difficult to decide. Do I play bishop g3? I went knight h5. That looks kind of weird to play that in tandem with bishop d6. But I don't know what to do. Knight e5, knight takes g3, h takes g3, bishop takes e5, d takes e5. I mean, white should be a little bit better there. But I'm not that thrilled about it. Maybe I should just play e4 or something. Just open the center. It's one way to play. I don't know, you know. Feels like he's neglecting the center slightly. So there's justification for playing e4. But there's so many different moves here that are possible. I feel like I need to develop my pieces. I have a need to develop my pieces. This semi-closed position. Astrobate says tension is tantamount to winning. Well, I wish it was that easy, but you're on the right track. You know, I'm lucky though. He made a terrible blunder. He castled into the attack on h7. I like the way he played the whole game. Other than that, I don't have a forced win. Oddly enough, a massive attack with no forced win. There's no mate that I can actually execute here. Queen d3 looks very interesting. That's probably best. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, right? Bishop takes g6. I don't know if he had any other defense besides that. So I really liked the way he played the whole game, other than the blunder, you know. The whole thing was fine for black. Actually, I'm not sure that white's even better here. It was pretty weird to play knight h5 in this position, though. Maybe I didn't play the best. But having said that, it's still not clear. You know, I don't know what I should do, basically. The engine's recommending bishop h4, which is a really bizarre move. So, but overall, kinetic theory, like, not a bad game. You just made a one-move blunder. I mean, this is actually playable. But you're going to have to be very careful about castling. And you have, obviously, all your pieces are still at home on the queen side, so this was just, you can chalk it up to one move blunder, but I think you also have to be able to play this kind of stodgy position very slowly and have the patience to do that. But I like the a6 in the opening. I mean, that looks like one of the best moves probably. a6 ranked number 3, but it has a high score, you know. So I'm thinking like a6 is right up there with the best moves. It shouldn't be that dangerous for black, honestly. But I like a6, you know. I was toying with the idea of playing bishop e5, you know. If you play c5, knight b5 is probably quite strong for white. This is like a known line. Isn't this Aronian? Let's see. Aronian may play it even earlier. You got short here, Jabava. This is forcing knight a6. See, he doesn't want that to happen. Okay, guys, let's move on to Nefedov. Mr. Nefedov, guys, I will send you, who are subscribers, I will send you a message about the, to remind you about the subscriber stream tomorrow night. It will be 4 p.m., same time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So, subscriber stream reminder. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and subscribing and playing. Please support the stream with a donation if you can afford it. Merle Dixon up to 125 for this week. Bits donation. The more you play, the more you learn. Hopefully. Mr. Nefedov. Knight h3. That's not cool. Alright. I will play against Nefedov e4. We're going to tease him with some other weird opening. It doesn't allow the Schliemann. Just don't let him play e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. I don't want to go with the King's Indian. Merle Dixon, thanks for the donation, man. Thanks for being a zombie. Merle Dixon in here from The Walking Dead. The most generous zombie on the stream. So e4, e5. What are we going to play? Last time we played the center attack. But what's an unusual opening, really? I mean, for me, I never play the bishop's opening. Let's try that. It's not an unusual opening in and of itself, but I don't play this, and I don't really know the theory of the bishop's opening, so let's do it. Not purely a unusual opening. But again, not something that I know very well. What if we tried something really weird? Queen e2. Now that's a move that's often played later. I wonder if there's some way for Nefedov to exploit it. The move order. He goes with knight c6. But we're going to transpose to, well, what is this exactly? Queen e2 in the Joko piano. Is that a move? Is that a serious move? It can't be that bad. You're going to cut this short. Soltigo, I'm sorry you have to go, man. Thanks for the donation and subscribing, Merle Dixon. I will see you later, Soltigo. Have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for the subscriber stream. And hopefully you submit a game. I'd like to see another one of your crazy games. So, Neffy with bishop c5. I'm going to try to be as flexible as possible here regarding castling, because I think that's advantageous in general. You know, he's got a beat on f2. Obviously, knight g4 can happen. I'm always ready to castle if I have to. It was a serious move in the early 1800s, of course, man. I mean, I like the Chigorin style 1800s. I like Queen e2 in the Berlin defense for white. You know, I think it's a lot more ballsy than d3. You know, on move 4 against the Berlin defense, try Queen e2. Even if objectively it's not that good, it will still mess people up more than routine stuff. Bishop g5 is interesting here. It feels wrong, but it's possible. Knight d2. I'm afraid he's going to bust me with d5. See, that's the real danger here, with my queen on e2. You know, any kind of sacrifices of a pawn. I mean, I've got to watch out with that business. Alright, you only live once. Let's try something weird. It is similar to the war. It's okay, some people say war mall. what I learned, like, technically, I don't know who the heck Warmal was, but the real name is the Worrell attack, like Worall. And there is a Warmal, and it's confusing, but I did this research once, and I think it's Worrell. And Spectacular Camel. Is there any relation to camel culture? Um, Spectacular Camel. Okay, now knight a5 becomes an issue, and that's a big problem. So now we have to do like here. Now we're just in a really weird. It's just a weird Joko piano where I've played like bishop g5 and queen e2. Pin it and win it. I agree with Worrell, but some people support the Warmal. Now Fedov played his characteristic a5. And my main concern is like knight a5. I mean, so that's out. There's another camel in the stream. Let's get our pizzas developed here. I just thought it was like your backup, Camel Culture. It's strange how you appeared like so quickly after Spectacular Camel came online. It just can't be a coincidence. That's like one of your minions or something. Knight on BD2. Camel minions. Guys, Dracofire's up next. I'm quitting in 20 minutes. It is what it is. I don't think h4 is going to cut it here. But again, like, speaking of 1800 style, it goes along with what I was talking about with, like, keeping the options open. Chigorin has been known to castle queenside. Steinitz as well. Morphy. The option to castle queenside. I have played a4, though, which makes me reluctant to do that. So we got to bite the bullet and play bishop h4 here. Not my favorite square, but bishop e3 would be, like, utterly lame. And this looks like something from the World Championship match between, like, Muzishuk and Hu Yifan. They had some battles in, what was it, like 2 years ago? They had some battles in the Italian game. There it is. Now, we didn't dare to sacrifice a piece here, right? That's just totally caveman, and it can't possibly be right. I think I have to play bishop g3. But I like the way that Nefedov's playing. Maybe he's been working on the black side of his Italian game / my silliness is becoming legendary. Well, that's good. Now, I recently did a game, like today, a video about a game from the Russian Team Championship where this guy, who's really good, by the way, Alexienko, who won the Aeroflot Open, he got the structure where he like took with the pawn on c4, but that was a different position. It would lock down d5, and I think that it's playable. To be honest with you, to take with the pawn and lock down d5 forever, that might not be such a silly idea. But I think in a vacuum, this seems more normal. I would caveman that one. All right. Propose a take back. Again, I would consider castling queenside at an earlier date, but now it's a little bit too late. I just think this is too much. Okay, guys, thanks for watching the stream. Let's see how many viewers we have. I didn't check. I got the crazy lag. What's my computer doing? All right. We've got 77. We got to get the average viewers up to 75. I'm really getting close. We got to. No, But we could be a partner on Twitch if I get it up to 75. I've been kind of close, but the average is like in the high 50s or something. Knight h5 now. I like these squares a lot. I really like those squares. Doesn't seem like I have an obvious mating attack here. No, Stockfish is like knight takes e5, resigns. Knight takes e5, knight takes g3, h takes g3. I mean, I might even have knight takes c6 there. It's just crazy. So knight takes e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, pawn takes e5, queen takes h5, queen takes d3. Knight takes e5, pawn takes e5, queen takes h5, queen takes d3. This gets kind of tactical, doesn't it? Nefedov has more time than me. So can I drop the d3 pawn and do something good? Like take. Well, first of all, I'm sacrificing a piece, right? Knight takes g3, h takes g3, and then takes on there. Here we go again. Wasting time. There's just no time. I don't know. I know I should have done it. But I bailed out. I chickened out. I have like 1 minute. I didn't see anything concrete. All my stuff is hanging. If his queen gets to d3, my e4 pawn's hanging with check. And I have less time, and my advice is not to go into complications when you have less time. Period. End of story. Nefedov taking the fun out of the game entirely here. I'm going like full Schlechter. Speaking of the 1800s, guys, if you really want to see some masterful pawn play and structures like this, Karl Schlechter is the man to go to. Looks like Neffy's going to get in trouble here. I mean, don't I have a really strong attack? Is it too slow for reals? I was talking about castling queenside. I mean, it's still on. Man, we've got all sorts of fun here. This feels like the right move, but it may be the wrong move. Isn't this just strong? Schlechter structure. Say that like 10 times really fast. We're not castling because of things that can happen like this. But once again, as I was saying earlier, Chigorin, Morphy, Schlechter, all these guys, like, they like to do this. They would delay castling on purpose so they could do really caveman, primitive stuff on the king side if the opportunity arises. Castle's king side. But now Nefedov's in a world of hurt. He's losing his h-pawn for absolutely nothing, and his king side is creaking. Is creaking like a sinking whaling boat. Knight takes h6. We gotta like that, right? There's got to be something. I still need to coordinate my king and rook situation. This was unfortunately not calculated, but it's probably okay. Should have verified that. But I take first. I think he might have had reasonable defenses without getting so extreme. I don't know which way to go here. Probably doesn't matter that much. I think this is winning. Next game. He trapped himself. Why didn't I take the queen? Wasn't I losing like 2 rooks or something? I mean, was that good too? I don't know. I thought I was losing 2 rooks and a knight for the queen. Maybe I miscounted something. This has to be fatal. We get the f7 pawn. Does he have knight d8? He has knight d8. I have to crawl in there like queen g7, queen g8, king d7, queen f8, knight e6. Here we go. Oh, that's a blunder though. He had to play knight d8 first. Now it's just over. Quick and painless. I don't want your rook. So, to answer your questions quickly, obviously Pavel blundered, when he missed knight g4, and he's in a lost position, I guess. But after that, here, I don't know. I mean, if I take it, it's not clear. He's getting 2 rooks. I think this is good for black, I mean, maybe I have some play, but no. I can't take his queen. So we have this in-between move, fortunately. Alright, guys, let's go on. We got one more game here. This will probably be the last one for today. I'm feeling kind of peaked. So, it's been a long day. Draco Fire, he's been waiting forever to play. If it's super fast, I'd play one more game, but I've got to go in like 12 minutes. So, Draco Fire, thanks for waiting, and your patience is appreciated. Guys, if you just subscribe, I take the challenges first. So it's like a way of giving back to those of you who do subscribe to support the stream. I'm supposed to play unusual openings. We'll think of something. That's all I know. Not such an unusual opening against Nefedov, but something I never play. The bishop's opening. Knight c3 here. I have played bishop b4 quite a bit, making it not so interesting. Maybe some sort of wing gambit reversed. Here I don't see the wing gambit as a feasible option. I mean, maybe, but then bishop g2. You kind of killed my wing gambit idea there, man. Really killed the wing gambit idea. We could play h5. We go totally nutso. Bishop c5 and knight h5. And h5, excuse me. But I think maybe my knight shouldn't be there. If I'm going to play h5, I decided Blazing Hearts, thanks for the bit. If you do bishop c5, knight c6 base setups, it's better for this h5, h4 because you can go like knight e7, and it's sort of complicated, but I looked at it. It's better to have the knight on g8 somehow. What is unusual here? If I were to play knight c6, he plays bishop g2. I mean, there's no sort of b5 gambits. I could play a black Mardimer with colors reversed. I give up. Let's play the black Mardimer down the tempo, okay? Because I don't know what else to do. We're running out of unusual openings to play. Well, what's the justification for this? Normally, the fianchetto is not a great setup. It's kind of a slow answer to the black Mardimer. So I guess there could be some very, very small justification for this. Playing this gambit a tempo down with the black pieces seems a little over the top. But the move g3 is sort of slow. So not recommended as a great, setup against the black Mardimer. JCS, thanks for spamming Mubat there to help people see the stuff, the videos, and the email. Thank you. Seriously, man. Thanks for helping out here. Delayed black Mardimer. You played the wing gambit against me last Friday. Don't remind me. I didn't like that position, if I recall correctly. I didn't like the way I played Rook A2 in that game. I remember, like, Camel Culture actually, or someone was saying how, like, why didn't I just play C3? If you're asking how I remember games from like last week, it's such a rare line that it sticks out in my memory. I mean, I literally don't play the wing gambit, so just in an extreme stream like this, extreme stream. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, subscribing. Hopefully it was instructional. Dracofire here violating opening principles by moving the same piece twice. And that is seriously taking your life in your hands, man. I'm just trying to work this out. I guess there's nothing to work out. I mean, he's going to have to do some crazy, crazy stuff now not to lose. There is bishop takes f2 check, king takes f2, queen d4 check, king f3, bishop g4 check, king takes g4, queen takes e4 check, which wins. So it's a question between bishop takes f2 or just the old-fashioned queen d4. You know, one wins a pawn back, and the other one allows bishop takes c6, and I stay down a pawn, but with like tremendous development and control of the white squares. So it's really a tough decision, and Dracofire punished immediately for making that losing time type of move. But I don't know, I have to decide one way or the other. There's another crazy thing he could do. Crazy, like queen d4. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, okay, queen d4. Where does he go? No, I don't think so. He has to take on like a c6 there. So do I win my pawn back, give up my bishop? Bishop takes f2, king takes f2, queen d4 check, king g2, queen takes e4 check, knight f3. That's also okay for me, but not like winning. I just can't decide. All right. It's already a sacrifice. One is like winning my pawn back, and the other is like a long-term sacrifice. So this is like the long-term sacrifice. Long-term sacrifice here. I'm not getting my pawn back, but I do have like really big pressure, inducing weaknesses in this position, etc. Maybe I missed something, but he can't play queen c2 because after queen takes f2 check, king d1, king f1, queen f1 is mate. You know, so there's no other funny move he could play that doesn't just lose outright. I guess d3 actually. d3, queen takes f2 check, king d2, trying to walk away. I mean, it looks like he would almost be committing suicide, but come to think of it, I don't see like an immediate win. d3, queen takes f2 check, king d2. It feels like he wouldn't last long against Morphy. Yeah, bishop takes f2, king takes f2, queen d4 check, king f3, bishop g4 check. That's what I looked at. You know, king takes g4, queen takes e4 check, winning the rook on h1. That looked kind of good, but I think that bishop takes, king takes, queen d4 check, king g2, queen takes e4 check, you know, knight f3, and he's still in the game. I mean, black is better, but I was kind of thinking like, this looks more fun, you know. Yeah, now he has to play this move, and he's got this chronic weaknesses on the white squares. These. Let's be grammatically correct. These chronic weaknesses. Queen b3. Well, you know, on the other hand, where do I really want to put my queen? And I'm running out of time. This is going to be kind of dicey because I'm down a pawn and I have like long-term compensation, but he's going to be able to trade stuff, and quite a bit of it, I guess. Queen b3, he could try to trade the queens. So did I put my queen on the wrong square? You know, if I don't want to trade queens, like concretely don't want to trade queens, then I should play maybe queen d5, give him or force him to play like f3 and then castle and just avoid trading queens. I'm afraid here I'm making it easy for him to play something like queen b3. And maybe I can go away, but then why did I play queen d3 in the first place? I mean, queen d3 is the easy move, is this like most aggressive looking move, most forward move, but again, I think he should go queen b3. And then I'm like kind of embarrassed. I was going to play bishop a6, but I'm concerned if I was playing like a computer, I know it would happen. Like it would say I was better, then it would be like equal, then I would lose. This is the kind of position, I swear. Like after queen b3, put me in a game with a very strong computer, and you'll see, or Nakamura or anybody, like you'll see, they'll like slowly, like the computer will equalize, and then like the human will start to make mistakes and actually lose. I think this is a situation where I don't want to trade queens. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, thanks for picking up the slack for Soltigo JCS. Jacob. You guys can check out our Discord, by the way. We have a Discord channel, and it's kind of fun. You can apply for the password from our moderator, but he's gone. He's gone till tomorrow, so come back tomorrow. Poopy boopy doopy. Snoopy. Queen e2. Queen e2 is another move that does the same thing as queen b3. It's probably good too. Yeah, I just think queen d3 was wrong. If we look at this with the engine later, I bet I should play like queen d5 or possibly even queen d7. I wouldn't be surprised if the computer comes up with an odd move like that. But I feel like, yeah, here, after trading queens, white is okay. White is going to crawl out of this and be okay. Generally, I don't want to trade queens here, but I'm getting low on time. I think queen d3 was already a small mistake. This is still better for me, maybe. Very confident here. I'm very, very confident. Building up on d3. I don't know what to do. Again, I would lose to a computer. Almost no doubt. f4 looks sort of risky, but I understand why he's doing it. He needs a place to put his king. So he's justified in that. We've got him pretty much restrained, and I still don't like my position. It's just not enough. Not good enough. This really sucks, having to play rook c8 here. And e4 would just open up massive holes in my position, so I don't want to do that. But trading queens was really the masterpiece of my mistakes in this game. And he's got good answers for me. Wow. I hate my pawn on c6. Just hate it. Wow. All right. He's playing fast. Man, that was a good move. I was so going to play rook c2 last move, and I didn't do it. I'm running out of time. I need to mate him with my king. I think bishop a4 was a bit stronger there. Great defense by Dracofire. Really impressive. He's got a check. I have to play. Insane defense by him. 1600. Wow. What a game. He's totally holding on. He's actually winning a pawn. Or not. Totally equal game. Wow, man. This was a crazy game. Alright. I do have an outside pawn, but I'll give you a draw. I'm a generous guy. That wasn't a great game by Dracofire. Really nice. Only his second draw against me, so that's impressive. I thought you played really well overall. The opening, kind of questionable mistake there with 94, but the truth was, after this total blunder, I should have taken on f2. You can't trust the engine right away. It's actually thinking a little bit longer now. I had a hard time with this. I don't know which one is better. Now it's switched to queen d4. So it agrees with me or not. Bishop takes f2 I wasn't convinced by. Queen d4 was my choice. I don't know about d3. d3 looks crazy. Okay. So bishop takes c6. B takes c6. e3. Basically forced. And so where to put the queen here? I criticized myself when I played it with queen d3. And the computer, I even suggested queen d7 after the move, but look at the difference in the computer's evaluation between queen d5 and queen d3. It's almost like half a pawn or a pawn difference. I think the key is not to trade queens in this position. This was a big mistake to let him to trade queens. So maybe I was like winning at some point later on, but queen d3 was a serious mistake. Alright guys, anyway, instructive stream. Good game, Dracofire. Thanks everyone for playing. Yeah, move 11, too late, man. I've got to go. I will see you guys later. Tomorrow night is subscriber stream. Thanks, Merle Dixon, move 11. Everybody who supported the stream with bits donations. I will be back tomorrow night. Hey, what's up, Govin Kurt? You just missed the stream. Bronx Defense as well. I'm out of here, guys. I will be back tomorrow night with subscriber stream. Bring your games if you're a subscriber. Bring your games for analysis tomorrow night. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and subscribing. And I'd like to thank Soltigo, although he had to leave, our main moderator, Mr. Soltigo, for his work. So thanks again, guys. Good job with the draw there, Dracofire. Tough game. I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, I upload all the streams to my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. Anyway, that is it. So I will see you tomorrow, and bye-bye.